Good morning. It's Lorraine with Crafty Therapy by Elle. I am going to pull up live, so if anybody jumps on and says hello or has any questions, I am able to answer any questions. Okay, good. Just want to make sure we have sound. Yep, I hear it. Good. So as you come on, say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm going to be making a few bows. I have orders from my Etsy shop that need to be shipped today. So while people are joining us, I figured I would just finish this sign. That's going to go on a wreath that I made over the weekend, a nice neutral sign. I try to make my own signs whenever I can. I use a beautifully stained piece of wood that my son cut out for me. And I used my Cricut to make this welcome sign. And this is going to go on a beautiful, it's going to be like a farmhouse, a blue and tan farmhouse looking wreath that can be left up all year long. Great for Mother's Day gifts, housewarming gifts. So I cut out my image, made sure my wood was dry, I sealed it. And then I have, it's backwards to you, but it does say welcome. So I'm going to put that aside. I will finish that later. So I'm working on my self-healing mat that has a ruler up to 24 inches. They come in all different sizes. I like to work with the 24-inch mat. It fits my area perfectly. I'm using my Deluxe Easy Bow Maker. I do have other bow makers, but that's the one that I prefer to use. And all of these supplies will be linked down below after in my Amazon, with my Amazon affiliates. You can also find a lot of these in your local craft stores. I have a sharp pair of scissors, a sharp pair of wire cutters, a few 8-inch zip ties, some chenille stems. All right, so the first one we're going to do is a bow, a bee bow. And I'm just going to be switching back and forth to make sure that I make them exactly as I have them posted in my Etsy shop. Okay. So we're using wired ribbon, always using wired ribbon so that it holds well. Nice quality ribbon. And I'm going to measure out about a 10-inch tail. And every time I put it in the fingers, I'm going to give it a twist so that when I come back around, the pattern side is facing up. And I'm measuring about a 5.5-inch loop on each side. Bees are still very popular. Lemons are still popular. This is probably maybe the 4th or 5th one I've sent out this month of this bee bow. So I am doing 5.5-inch loops on each side, and I need 2 of them. I make my bows all different recipes. This is a little bit simpler of a bow. I don't know what happens to my little, I usually have a straight pin. I don't know what I did with it. Okay, find it later. I keep a straight pin so it stays nice and neat when I store them away. Next, I'm going to come in with this 1.5 inch yellow Swiss dot wired ribbon. And I'm going to make it about a 1/2 inch shorter, so maybe about 5 inches, a 5-inch loop, so you can see it's a little shorter. And I need 1 loop on each side of this one. You can make the bows however you'd like, however many loops you want. That's totally up to you. There's no wrong way to do it. I like using the bow maker because it gives me consistent sizes on each side. And I also like to work on top of the self-healing mat because it only goes up to 8 inches, and sometimes I like them a little bit longer. So I use the self-healing mat to get that exact measurement. And the last one we're going to come in is with this Daisy and Bee buffalo plaid. Can't go wrong with buffalo plaid. Putting it in, giving it that nice twist. Coming in again about 1/2 inch to 1 inch shorter. And I'm going to use 2 loops of this. I also like that it has this spool holder to keep everything flowing nicely. It's a gorgeous day here. I'm on Long Island in New York. It's going to go up to 76 today, which is absolutely perfect weather, and it's sunshine, a nice little breeze. Okay. Oops. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my layers and I'm going to go 1 up, 1 down on each side, spreading out the loops. And I'm holding the middle so that everything doesn't start rising up. 1 up, 1 down, and I'm fluffing out my loops so that once I go put my pipe cleaner on and my zip tie on, everything is fluffed out and in place. Okay, so now I'm going to take my zip tie, I'm going to come underneath all the layers and up the middle, and I secure the zip tie, but I'm not pulling it completely tight. Now I can slide it up. I'm going to hold it and slide it to the back, pulling it a little tighter. But before it's completely tight, I'm going to slide my pipe cleaner. This is how my customer is going to secure it to her wreath or her lantern or her swag, her gift basket, wherever this is going to be used. Now I take the pipe cleaners, I use that as a little handle, and I'm going to give my bow the final fluff. Smoothing out my ribbons, giving them a nice curve, making sure all the loops are rounded out and where they should be. Isn't that pretty? The final thing I'm going to do is just angle off my ends. Some people like to dovetail it, which is a little different, where you fold it over and you cut it at an angle. Sometimes I do that, but lately I've been doing just the angle. one down. This would go beautiful on a plain burlap wreath. I sell them in my Etsy shop, which is craftytherapybyl.etsy.com. I sell just the burlap wreaths, and then you can just buy a bow for every season and just swap it out. You just store these, you can kind of flatten them a little bit and just do what I just did. Fluff it out each time, keep it in a shoebox, and that's a nice economical way to have a different seasonal wreath, just using the same one. Okay, the next one has been a popular one in my shop also. Okay, so we're going to do the green, the yellow. You know what? I forgot one of the bows. I forgot one of the ribbons. So I'm going to have to hold off on doing that one. So I'm going to go to my other one. That stinks. That's okay. My last one is a Passover bow. Could also be used for Hanukkah. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Okay, so again, about a 10-inch tail, putting it in. And this will get shipped today, so they will definitely get it by Hanukkah. Well, yes, by Hanukkah, but before Passover starts. And this is a great bow too, because it can be used all year long also. Whereas opposed to some of the ones that I make for Hanukkah, you know, they have a menorah on it, so a little more specific. I have a lot of Passover home decor signs, door hangers, wreaths, as well in my Etsy shop. This one, do you hear Sadie? Can you hear her? She's whining to get in. She's been out there a few minutes. We're not really sure what she is, but we swear she's Beagle, because she's got that Beagle whine to her. She's fine though. Okay, so I'm going to trim this up. I've got my tails, I've got my loops, again 5.5 inch, 2 loops each. Stacking them up. Next we're going to come in with a gold. So I'm measuring up my tails, making sure that they're the same length, putting it in the fingers, giving it the twist, coming in a little bit shorter, about a 1/2 inch shorter, twisting. Even though it's got the same pattern on both sides, I still do that same twist. Gives the bow nice support also. Now this ribbon, I don't know if you can tell on, you see this little crease here, and it's got like a little crease here just from being on the roll. I will take my hair straight iron, flat iron, I'll heat it up, and then I'll just go over it a couple of times, and that'll come right out. So I will do that before I ship it out. Okay, next coming in with this beautiful blue and silver. Twisting. This is a really thick ribbon. And this one is 2 loops of this. each layer a little bit shorter than the last. All of these bows are listed in my Etsy shop, craftytherapybyl.etsy.com. I ship pretty much daily. You can also find wreaths, door hangers, personalized wood gifts, wood signs, plant hangers. My son makes cutting boards, so you can find those there. Charcuterie boards. Something for everyone in our shop. Okay, so this is the final layer. Okay, so we're going to spread the layers, one up, one down. One up, one down. These will stay in the middle. And I'm holding it down so I can really give them a pull to get them in the right spot and fluff them out. Yes, the wider ribbon is 2.5 inch. I only use 2.5 inch and 1.5 inch. I do have some 4-inch ribbon, but for the most part, I don't really work with it too much. Okay, taking my zip tie, 8-inch zip tie, going underneath all the layers and coming up the middle. Before I pull it out of the bow maker, I'm going to secure the zip tie, but not pull it all the way tight. Now I can pull it out, grab the middle, bring it to the back, tighten it just a little bit, grab my pipe cleaner and slide it through. Now you can secure it nice and tight. Sure, anytime. Now I'm going to take my little handles and I can give everything a really nice pull and smooth it out because it's really secure. That's why I like using the zip ties, because they really, once you get that secured, nothing's going anywhere. I feel like if I use a wire, it's just not as secure. But again, that's a personal preference. Many people just use a wire. Okay, so there we have that. Another beautiful one. I'm going to trim my edges. Nice little angle cut. These are perfect to add to a wreath or a lantern, candlesticks, gift baskets, or baskets that you just have, you know, with decorative pillows or blankets. Thank you. A little bit. So much that you can do with these. Put them on mailboxes. All right. So there we have it. I was going to do one more bow, but unfortunately I forgot one of my ribbons. So I will have to do that off camera. And then once you're done, you always want to take, this is magnetic up here. So you just go over your board just to pick up any of the loose pieces of metal. That way you don't push it onto the ground, and I'm always barefooted. So I don't want to step on it or the dogs to step on it, but you can see how many just from me working. And then I throw it in my little garbage right here. I hope you found this helpful. You can find these at craftytherapybyl.etsy.com. wreaths.etsy.com. If you go to the description of this video, it's also linked there, and you can sort it by bows or Passover or whatever it is. I have sections just for bows, wired ribbon supplies. Yeah, you can find that in my Etsy shop. Take a look at my other videos. I have lots of videos on wreath making, bow making, some Cricut videos, how to cut ribbon. There's lots of different step-by-step videos that I have listed down below. I hope you have a great day, and if you have any questions, leave them down below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.